Hello, everybody. Eric here with my weekly wrap up for, let's check the dates, September 22nd through the 28th. I posted on Monday, the 23rd, my book review for Psycho by Robert Bloch. I think it's going to be a classic if we can get enough eyes on it. Um, and on Tuesday, I posted my top 7 micro budget horror films, truly independent horror movies, very funny for the most part horror movies. So my list of my 7 favorite there. Going to try to do more top 5, top 10, whatever number it turns out to be. Do more lists like that. Can't guarantee it's going to be every week because I haven't done one for the upcoming week. But, I'm trying to think of subjects, categories for more lists. And then on Friday, posted my review for Big Trouble in Mother Russia, a sequel to the movie Big Trouble in Little China by John Carpenter. And I'm a huge, huge fan of that movie. So when 2 novels came out that were sequels, I snatched them up. And I finally got around to reading the first one. And of course, on Wednesday, I had posted my reading remembrances. That's every Wednesday. I'm moving along in my Spooktober reading list, the books that people voted on, and you're going to see the first review for one of those. They're going to start this upcoming Friday. October 5th is what that looks like. I have one more book review that will go up tomorrow. And then we'll get into the trashy paperbacks from hell style books that I'm reading for October and the end of September and all of October, hopefully. Last week I finished Vampiric by Simon Clarke. I am currently in the middle of Fear by Ronald Kelly. And so I have 3 more books that were voted on. Pretty sure I'm going to have those finished before even the middle of October. So once I finish the ones that folks voted on, I'm going to read an actual paperback from hell from Valancourt Press, the next one in that stack. So part of that series that I'm doing. And then I think I'll still be in October. So I'll grab some of the books that were part of the voting that didn't get voted on, but I'd like to read. So still reading those 80s, 90s. Vampiric by Simon Clarke was 2000-ish. But trying to read that kind of stuff. And let's see. I watched the movie Abigail, which I thought was fantastic, incredibly entertaining. Great performances, especially by the young actress who played Abigail. Kevin Durand, been a big fan of his since he was in the short-lived Swamp Thing TV show. I thought he was fantastic in this. And Dan Stevens, I knew he was in the movie, but kind of forgot about it and did not recognize him, I think, until at some point he takes his glasses off. And I was like, oh yeah, Dan Stevens. He's in this. Catherine Newton's great. Melissa Barrera's great. Unfortunately, there's a couple other actors. Giancarlo Esposito, always fantastic. A couple other actors, I don't recall their names, but they were both great as well, especially the ex-Marine character. I really liked his character. And then the last guy, played by Angus Cloud, and I only remember his name because he died short. Like his name, he was the movie was, I think, dedicated to him or in loving memory of Angus Cloud. So I looked it up, and yeah, he passed away. Terrible that I can't remember the one other actor's. Yeah, well, I don't remember the Abigail's name either. But yeah, a lot of fun. Really, really fun movie. Nice and gory. I watched all the special features, watched it with the commentary track. Great, great stuff. And then I played some tabletop games, as I do. I thought I'd mention this one. It's a game I've had since it came out, essentially, and I've tried to play it a few times, but I think I finally got a handle on it. And this is Arkham Horror, the card game from Fantasy Flight. This is the original set, and you have 5 different investigators that you can choose to play, but I believe you can only play 2 at a time. Yeah, this says it's a 1 or 2 player cooperative game. So there's only enough cards to make 2 investigator decks at a time. There's a new edition of this where there are 4 pre-med investigator decks. There's a 5th investigator in that box, but you have to fiddle around to make their deck, I believe. But 4 of the investigators have pre-made, so you can play up to 4 players if you buy that box. Here's a look at the back. So this is a scenario-driven card game. This box contains a single scenario with 3 chapters, and what you do in each chapter affects how you will start the next chapter. You play the first chapter, which I did. Actually, I played it twice this past week. I played it solo just to make sure I had it down, what I was doing, all the rules and everything, and then played it with someone else. That was our official play, where I actually took the notes, and you mark if you've suffered trauma, which can affect how you set up your character for the next game. You get experience points, and you can buy upgraded cards for your deck, so they're a little bit better than the cards you've started with. And there are certain things that will ask you, did this happen or did this happen? Did you make this choice or this choice? That will affect how the next chapter plays out. So you play through all 3 chapters, finish this scenario, and then there are tons and tons of other scenarios. And you can there are some bigger ones that might have 3 or 4 or 5, I don't know how many chapters. And then you can get little one-shot scenarios. I have a couple of those. One is a throwback. It's the blob that ate something. And it's just a little tiny pack of cards that you add to your base stuff to play out this quick little scenario. And then I have a little one called Barkham Horror, where your investigators are dogs, and the ultimate evil that you're trying to fight is cats. I haven't played that yet. I want to get this down, and I do have the second expansion for it, or technically the first expansion, the second scenario. But I want to get all that down before I get into the Barkham Horror, which should be fun. And yeah, I like this game a lot. It's simple card play. You're investigating things. You're being attacked. You're going insane. It has an interesting skill check system where your investigator has a certain level of skill, and you can play cards to enhance that skill level. But then there's a bag of these what's called chaos tokens that could range from +1 to -4, with some with symbols that, depending on the chapter you're playing and your characters, the symbols have different meanings. But you might think you're going to pass a skill check with flying colors, and then you pull a -4 out of the bag, and you lose, and you go insane. Really, really fun game. I had a good time playing it. I'm definitely going to try to keep it in regular rotation so I don't forget all the rules and such. And we have 2 more chapters to go in here, but I do have a little bit more we can play, and then if we keep enjoying it, I'll pick up some more of the expansions. And that's about it. That was my week. It was a bad migraine week. I had a few days where I had migraines, so I did not get a lot of reading done. I was going to watch more movies, but with a migraine, I can't concentrate. I'll have the TV on, like right now. The Riff Tracks channel is on. Birdemic is on the Riff Tracks channel, and that's perfect for when I just want to sort of veg, because my head is killing me, and any movement makes it feel like a red hot poker is going through my brain. So I just like to just sit, not move, and just having something silly on. I can't concentrate on an actual movie or reading or anything. So I didn't get as much reading done as I normally would because of the migraines. But that's it. Some reading, some game playing, watched a movie. Excuse me, getting a dry throat from all this talking. We've got tomorrow's review is the third book in a trilogy, brand new book-ish in a trilogy from a relatively popular author. And then we're going to, next Friday, we'll be getting into the Spooktober books that I've been reading. That's it. No question, nothing for this update. Oh, actually, that's not true. That's not true at all. I am such a liar. One of the things I was thinking of this week as my head was pounding was, why is Stephen King so popular? Now, the obvious answer is he's an amazing writer. But there are plenty of incredible writers out there that have not achieved the status, the fame of Stephen King. Is it marketing? If I'm not mistaken, King's first novel, Carrie, was not a runaway hit until the movie came out. So is it movies and TV series, miniseries, that stuff? Is that what puts Stephen King over the top? Again, not taking anything away from his writing. He's an amazing writer. I'm saying things that everybody knows. Not everybody would necessarily agree with me, though. But I don't, in real life, in the real world, most of the people I know aren't big readers. They have heard of Stephen King. The average person has heard of Stephen King. So the people I work with, they've heard of Stephen King. They haven't heard of most of the other authors that I read. And as I said, I think there are some authors who are just as good as Stephen King. Clive Barker, probably a huge amount of people know Clive Barker, but maybe slightly less than people who are familiar with Stephen King. And if I'm talking in the horror realm, we're not going to get into the James Pattersons and that kind of stuff. So what is it? Why did Stephen King become the king? I can't say that it's just his writing. Is it the movies? Is it the miniseries? Is it once Carrie hit and the next couple books and the next couple movies came out and hit, did the publishers really, really push the marketing of Stephen King? And is there a point where it just starts to snowball and the momentum, and you don't even need the marketing that much anymore? Just, hey, Stephen King's got a new book coming out. That's all you need. And people are going to pick it up. I'm going to pick it up. But why King? Why not I don't want to name any names because I don't want to make anybody feel bad, but there are authors that I like better than Stephen King, and I think deserve at least the same level of recognition in the wider world as Stephen King. Within my online circles, which is mostly horror fans and authors and creators and all of that, these other authors are quite well known, quite well respected, quite well loved. But in the wider world, 9 out of 10 people I talk to in my day-to-day life have never heard of these people unless I've brought it up. So I'm curious, what are your thoughts on this? Is it simply that Stephen King is that good as a storyteller, or is there more to it? Let me know in the comments below. All right, that's it. If you have any comments, questions, corrections, please put those in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. I didn't really talk about anything of specific, so don't know what we would spoil. But if you're going to spoil anything, just post a spoiler warning. We try to be polite here on my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe, all the usual YouTube stuff. If you'd care to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is @Ronin5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comic books, board games, fuzzy animals, is Eric Smith 5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH 5757. And on Blue Sky, I am @EL Smith. And there was another thing. So hopefully you've stayed till the end here. I'm still trying to decide what to add to the name of my channel on YouTube. The front runners, most popular ideas seem to be either horror fanatic, horror savant. Because I am such a weirdo, for some reason, I really love the idea of horror fish. It's just so weird and off the wall. Eric Smith, horror fish. Then I thought maybe a little bit better, horror rat. Let me know your thoughts. Is horror fish just way too out there? Would it throw people off? People would be too confused. Is horror rat better? Or horror savant, horror fanatic, anything else you might think of? I'm going to make the change. Just haven't decided what it's going to be yet. Let me know again in the comments below. Now we're finished. So until next time, read more books.